I want to talk to your boss. See? I've been murdered. See? No, sir, I don't. See? You say you've been murdered. See? Yeah, see? I've been murdered. See? Oh, I think I see. See? Thank you for seeing that I've been murdered. See? Yeah, there's no way I'm going to keep that going this whole review. D.O.A. Released in 1950, standing for Dead on Arrival, directed by Rudolph, who is behind films such as Mississippi Gambler, The 300 Spartans, and When Worlds Collide. This film stars Edmund O'Brien, Pamela Britton, and Luther Adler. This film opens with one of the greatest opening sequences ever in the history of film. Frank Bigelow enters a police station to report a murder. His own. Then after this opening sequence, we flash back to before this moment, and we see Frank Bigelow planning a vacation for himself, away from his accounting job, and away from his secretary/girlfriend, Paula, played by Pamela Britton. So now Bigelow is in San Francisco, partying it up, he's at a bar, he sees a cute girl across the way, and he leaves his drink unattended. Then after a little while, when he goes to take a sip of his drink, he doesn't notice this shady man poisoning his drink. And the next day he's not feeling well, so he goes to several doctors, and each of them tell him that he's been poisoned by a poison where there is no antidote. In simple terms, he's been murdered. And so now Bigelow is trying to retrace his steps and trying to find the people that murdered him. You thought I was going to do the dun-dun-dun things, huh? Yeah. Well, I am. Now, this is by far the oldest movie that I've reviewed on my channel so far, and I feel like whenever I hit up one of these classic films like this, I gotta do this in black and white. When I purchased this movie, it actually came in a 2-pack remake rewind bundle, so eventually I am going to be reviewing the 1988 version. And this movie has no ties to that other D.O.A. movie, Dead or Alive, that had a bunch of ninjas in bikinis. Huh. This is a classic look at Golden Age cinema. Now, this movie's opening is hailed as one of the most innovative openings to a movie ever. As the opening credits are rolling, we are literally following Bigelow enter this police station. In real life, I don't think you would have had to walk that far to report a crime, but we go with it. And that opening line of "I'm here to report a murder, my own," God, that's a great line. That is a great way to start your movie. It's the kind of hook that you need to have in your script to get people interested in your plot. I even wrote it in my notes. Yep, I'm interested. And really, that opening sequence and that opening line is really what this film is best known for. Then when we flash back to the moments before this murder reporting, then we get our standard linear structure. We never bounce back and forth between present day and the past, which is strange. And of course, when we flash back, then we start to see our standard, stereotypical, patriarchal Hollywood movie unfold. The women in this movie are simply there just to be possessions for the male characters, and their actions depend so much on what the male characters are doing. When Bigelow is on vacation, Paula is constantly calling him every couple of hours just to check up on him and to make sure that he still loves her. "Oh, Frank, I love you so much. I can't go on another minute without you. Oh, when are you coming home, Frank? When are you coming home?" Honey, not till he sleeps with a bunch of other women. Move on. Back in the day, and actually probably today still too, Bigelow's character probably would have been seen as an awesome dude because he goes around and he sleeps with so many different women. But to me, that makes Bigelow a grade A asshole. I'm sorry, you're in a relationship, so it's your responsibility to end things if you're not happy as opposed to sneaking around someone's back. Which is kind of when he gets poisoned, I'm thinking, that's karma, bitch. It always comes back around to bite you in the ass. Plus, another thing, dude, you don't leave your drink unattended at a bar. I mean, that's bar hopping 101 right there. Because if you don't, the next thing you know, you wake up and you're in a cell on a freighter somewhere and you're being sold off into sex slavery in Russia, or you get poisoned. Idiot. But once he is poisoned and the doctors tell him that there is no cure and you basically have a day to maximum a week to live, you see him come to that crossroads. Do I just sit back, wait, and accept this, or do I go out and do something about it? It's an interesting philosophical question to ask yourself. Heck, it happens thousands of times a day where people are diagnosed with cancer or whatever type of disease, and it forces you to make a decision. How am I going to live out the remaining of my days? Because all of a sudden, my life has an expiration date on it. Wow. This review is getting very morbid. But back to this review. This movie had some weird jump editing cuts that I noticed. There were several jump cuts where it's pretty obvious that they were probably connecting two reels of film together. You know, a character would be moving or they'd be reaching for something, they'd be in the process, and then all of a sudden, I'm there, I got it. You know, starting this channel, I do notice those editing cuts like that now. But I can forgive it. I mean, it is due to the technology that they had at the time. Plus, there was this weird non-diegetic sound choice being made when Bigelow was in the hotel room. Whenever we see Bigelow checking out an attractive woman in the hotel, you hear that cat-calling whistle sound being made, but it's not coming from anything. It was just a weird choice because that was the only thing of its nature in this movie. Everything else was done realistically, and this sound choice never pops up again. It didn't make sense. There are also some cheesy directional choices that occurs after Bigelow gets poisoned. He's running away from a hospital. He's trying to run away from this problem. He stops at a literal crossroads. He bends down, he ties his shoe. Then all of a sudden a kid walks by playing with the ball. And the kid goes, oh, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden a woman comes in and goes, oh, oh, oh. And she's greeted by her, lover or her husband or her boyfriend, kind of to represent him thinking about, oh, I'll never get married. I'll never have kids. I'll never grow old with a woman. Kind of a cheesy decision, but yeah, we get the point. But I will say when Bigelow makes the decision to hunt down the people who did poison him to make sure that doesn't happen to anyone else, then we get our dark, gritty, almost detective film noir story. And as you know, I am a sucker for those crime detective dramas, Law & Order SVU, CSI New York, things like that. I love seeing a plot unravel in a detective story. And after the cheesy opening, this movie completely turns into that detective story, so yeah. It was entertaining. So in the end, D.O.A. is an interesting detective story that has one of the most iconic openings in the history of cinema. But I don't know if it's this modern day lens that I'm looking at this movie through, but the whole patriarchal society system, not a fan of it. Plus, there are strange editing and directing choices made here. And with that, it was really hard for me to get connected to the characters and get connected to the plot. But this movie is a good representation of classic Hollywood, and if that interests you, then yeah, you should definitely check this one out. So, I'm gonna give D.O.A. 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm watching next. Let's take a look. Rocky Balboa, Adrian! Well, actually, that doesn't happen in the movie from what I remember. But Rocky Balboa, I haven't seen this since it was released. I remember thinking that, yeah, I was really liking this movie, and hell, it's no Rocky 5. That piece of shit. I haven't seen it in almost 10 years, so yeah, let's watch it again. So everyone, have you seen D.O.A.? What did you think about it? Or, if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I'm posting my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Rocky Balboa. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.